What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker here on Unique Access Entertainment. As always, please hit that subscribe button. It's right down there and it's free. That enables us to keep coming as often as possible with as many interviews as possible. Now, today, we have the honor and the privilege of being joined by Mr. Fingers. Thanks for coming through, sir.
Thank you for having me so much. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, man. We got a lot to talk about. And, the resume is immaculate and lengthy. And as we get to a lot of that, one thing that I know from following your music and seeing some of your interviews over the years is that you're actually a classically trained pianist.
Yes,
So was that your introduction to music, getting classically trained on the piano?
that and my father playing records in the basement very loud for very long periods of time. So my father was like an amateur DJ, so he had a bunch of records and if my father liked a song, you knew it. So that was
Gotcha.
my real introduction to music. And then I started taking piano lessons and then my love for music even grew on a deeper level.
Okay. And what was your dad playing?
Man, you name it. He was playing a lot of like Luther Vandross used to drive me crazy. Like he would play Luther Vandross for like a whole weekend straight, and I was like, oh man. But whatever song was hot at the time, so D Train, S.O.S band, like anything, man, like anything like that was popping in the 80s, he was playing it.
Okay. And a lot of those artists you mentioned have a lot of great grooves and a lot of great rhythm in it.
Yeah.
So how did that transfer or translate into getting into playing the piano?
So for me, I just was listening to music, and my memories of music go back to when I'm 3 years old. The first song I remember hearing was a song, post-disco song, say. And that's like my favorite genre of music is post-disco music, songs that sound like Rock With You, the songs that got that four on the floor rhythm. So that was always in me. And my favorite song of that period of time was Love Is a Message, which came out 10 years before that, like 3 years before I was born, 1973. So Love Is a Message, Gambling Huff. That was my idea of what music should sound like because it
Mm.
had all the different instruments, all the orchestration, things coming in and out. I thought that was like my highest level of music that it could be till I started listening to fusion jazz. And I'm like, wow, this is what music can sound like too. So that was later on though.
Yeah, I mean that's the beauty of listening and consuming multiple genres is that you can always learn or hear or feel something different. And I think that's one of the things listening to a lot of the music you've helped create over the years that I appreciated and we'll be getting into now. But I also remember hearing too, you talk about falling in and out of love with music even before you got into the music industry. So
Correct.
how and why did that happen?
So I believe that I'm a very sensitive person, like I feel like I can sense people's emotions. I can sense I'm very empathetic and things of that nature. And I just pay attention. I'm very quiet. Like I'm a very quiet person. If I come around, people might think that I'm mean or something like that because I don't really speak. I'm like peeping out the space. I'm getting to see the atmosphere around me. I'm feeling the vibes, and then I like open up a little bit more. So what happened with me was between the period of time of like 1982, 1983 to like 1987, music went away from being acoustic. It went more to like electric sounds. So it's more drum machine based. So all the music that I grew up in the late 70s, early 80s was still live drums. So the timing could change. Even if they was playing the groove over and over again, it's the same notes. The piano players hitting it with different velocity. The guitar players hitting the rhythm part with a little bit different accents here and there. The drummer is not hitting the snare in the same place. So I can hear all those nuances. And that's what made it feel alive to me. So when you had the drum machine come in, you was hearing the same exact hit every single time, the same tone. So it sanitized it for me. I'm talking about I'm 5 years old and I'm noticing this. I'm 4 years old noticing this. I'm like, I don't really like this. So it was like maybe like freestyle music. So that freestyle period between like 1982 to 1987, like those type of songs that was really popping down the Lower East Side of Manhattan. That sound Like Lucky Star could have been one of the songs, even though I like Lucky Star, but that's one of the songs that have that freestyle kind of feel to it. But it had a little combination of live playing and stuff like that. So that's what happened. So then around 1987, Cameo came out with their next album. They was out for years, but they had merged live instrumentation, live drums, and drum machine programming all together. And that's when I like ingested it and like, okay, this is how it should be done. And then I got used to that sound. A long
Okay.
answer.
Oh, it's all good. And this is when you were growing up in Queens, right?
Growing up in Queens. I was born in Brooklyn and then I moved to Queens around 5 or 6 years old. We was in
Okay.
Bed-Stuy and then we moved to
Gotcha. And with that, because around this time too, with this uh emergence, what was your, because you haven't mentioned listening to any rap yet. So rap, of course, went from the park stuff and the routines to then being on record where they're basically replaying other people's music.
right.
And then it moves into the electronic stage in the early 80s. So as rap was in the replaying the Chic or replaying whoever they were replaying at the time,
Mhm.
did you like rap? Did you feel
So truthfully, to be honest, like rap is not my favorite genre at all. Like my favorite genre of music is fusion jazz. That's my favorite music, my favorite music. I got put onto that music at 18, 19, 20. I love rap music and I love no, I love hip hop. I'm not a fan of rap music. I love hip hop. Love hip hop. Some of my favorite albums of all time are hip hop albums. I'm not a fan of rap music, which we can talk about that later on when we start talking about my work. But yeah, so I didn't really start really liking rap music till about Slick Rick, like Slick Rick, Dougie Fresh, Run-DMC. So like maybe Sucker MCs is like the first rap song that really stuck to me. And then the first album, the first single I made my mom ever buy was a rap single, which was "You Be Illin" by Run-DMC. And the
hmm.
first album I ever made my mom buy was "License to Ill" Beastie Boys.
So
That's
what was it about that single and that album that had you so hard?
I
Got you so
don't
ready.
I have no idea, man. I just like the hook. You be illin, illin. I just like the hook. So the hook was cool. I like the beat. And so like I was like, I want that. It was infectious to me for whatever reason at the time. And that was the song. And then I just like you gotta fight for your right. I like it was rebellious. It felt like I love the video. That's when MTV was really popping. So I just like that energy. Cause I was like, I would listen to that type of stuff. Whatever was on MTV, I was listening to all that. So we're not gonna take it. Well, all
Right.
those songs, I was listening to all those songs. So like that's what was happening.
Okay. And it seemed interesting you say that because both UB Ellen and Fight for Your Right to Party, there's a lot of energy and it's very aggressive. And I
Yeah.
think once we get into your music that you started working on, that at least that we know about, it's also very aggressive. So how did fusion jazz, I think, even though it's different, it is aggressive in a different way. Because obviously, I would argue it's not drum driven, but it is aggressive, progressively with the scales and how things move in the music. So, what is it about aggressive music? Do you think that? Why do you think you like it?
Well, it's so crazy that I'm more of a calm person. I love calm music more and I would love to like make and create more calm music, but it just seems like people always ask for more aggressive music. So that's why I tend to create more aggressive music because that's the people I'm around. That's the resources that I had growing up in the hood that I'm at. But I mean, I really did love Sade. I really loved like Anita Baker, so those are the songs that like touch me and like Boys to Men. And so I'm not really an aggressive person. I can be very aggressive if I need to be, but naturally I think I'm a calm, chill person. People like, yo, anybody that know me like, yo, he cool. People don't even realize how crazy I can be because I'm so cool. So like honestly, I'm more laid back. But what I do like about the aggressive music is that it gets right to the point. So it's like it just hits you straight up and down. You have to wait for a reaction. You already know how people feel about it. And they used to say that about R&B sales. They used to say R&B sales. They used to compare like in the offices, the executives, they would compare hip hop or rap music sales to like crack. Like it's a quick hit, you get high real fast and you come down. And that's how the sales would be. So you would sell your peak when the album came out and it would go down. So with R&B was like a slow burn. So it was like you took an edible or something like that. So like the sales go up over time and it takes longer for the sales to come down. So it was a different pattern of how they sold. So that's the difference.
But let me ask you, I would also argue though that's how rap records would be promoted though, because
Yeah.
I would argue that
Mm.
even in the quote unquote urban or black music departments, the people running the stuff didn't really care about rap.
Yeah.
They didn't really value it as music. So it
Yeah.
was to them like slanging drugs, slanging a product.
Yeah, I mean, that's a I can that whole thing, that's a whole nother conversation about how I feel about the structure of the music industry, what its agenda has been for the black community. That's a whole nother conversation that we can have if you want to have that conversation. I don't
Oh,
mind sharing my opinions about that when you get to that.